When you get to my age, you stop pretending. You stop dressing pain up in pretty words. You stop calling people who hurt you a little difficult, and you start calling them what they are. I buried a husband. I raised children who forgot to call. I watched decades disappear like the steam off this tea. And somewhere in all of that, I learned to see people for who they truly are. So tonight, let me tell you about the 5 kinds of people I learned to let go, even when they wore my own family's face, because some of them I loved the most. And that is exactly why they hurt the most. Now hear me, and hear me good. None of these people look dangerous at first. The dangerous ones never do. The one who will empty your heart doesn't knock wearing a scowl, she knocks wearing your favorite cake in her hands, and a story about how much she's been through. That's the thing about this life. The people who drain you the most are usually the ones who smile the sweetest. Let me tell you about them one by one. The first is the one who always has a crisis. Every single time she called, the world was ending. Her landlord, her husband, her health. Always something, always urgent, always needing you to fix it right now. I had a cousin like that. Emily, her name was. And for 40 years, I believed her. I sent money I didn't have. I drove through storms at midnight because no one else would come. And you know what I finally realized? I was never her family. I was her emergency line. I was the person she called when everyone else had finally stopped answering. The day I stopped being her rescue, I stopped hearing from her at all. That told me everything I needed to know. A person who loves you wants you in their life, not just in their emergencies. The second is the one who never truly sees you. You know the type. She talks for an hour about herself, and when you finally open your mouth, she's already reaching for her purse, already thinking about the next thing. I once spent a whole afternoon with a woman I'd known since childhood. She told me about her son's promotion, her daughter's wedding, her new kitchen, her trip abroad. Not once in 4 hours did she ask me a single question about myself. Not one. I sat there, and I felt myself disappear. Like I wasn't a person at all. Just an audience. Here's the lesson, and it took me a lifetime to learn it. Someone who never asks about you is telling you who you are to them. Believe them the first time. You deserve to be seen. Not just heard, seen. The third is the one whose kindness always had a hook. Oh, this one's the sneakiest of all, because it wears the face of generosity. She brought you soup when you were sick. She watched your children when you were tired. She seemed on the surface like the most giving soul in the neighborhood. But every single kindness came with a string, and sooner or later she'd pull it. Remember when I did that for you? Remember what I sacrificed? She kept a ledger in her head, and you were always in her debt. Her kindness wasn't a gift. It was a loan with interest, and the interest was your dignity. Here's what I want you to understand. Real love doesn't keep score. Real love gives and then it lets go. If someone's help always comes with a receipt, that's not love. That's a leash. The fourth is the one who treated my house like a hotel. This one was a grandson. My sister's boy, David. And I loved that boy with my whole heart, which is exactly why I let him take over slow, without me even noticing. It started small. A few nights, he said, just while he got on his feet. Then a week. Then a month. Then one day I came home and his things were everywhere. His friends in my living room. My pantry empty. And I realized, somewhere along the way, my home had stopped being mine. I know some of you are nodding right now. You know this one. The relative who treats your peace like it's theirs to use up. That's the slow takeover. It never happens all at once. It happens one just for a little while at a time. And by the time you notice, you're the guest in your own home.
Grandma,
but
what's
here's
going
the thing
on?
I want to leave you with on this one. A house is not love. A door you hold open for someone is not the same as handing them the keys. And the fifth. Oh, the fifth cuts the deepest. The one who forgot my name until they needed me. These are the ones who didn't come to your birthday. Didn't call on Christmas. Didn't know you'd been in the hospital until a month after you got out. Then one day, the phone rings. And it's them. And suddenly they remember you exist.
Hello?
Because they need something. A cosign. A loan. A place to stay. A babysitter last minute. I used to be grateful for those calls. I used to think, see, they do remember me. It took me far too long to understand that I wasn't being remembered. I was being looked up. The way you look up a number when you need a favor. Love that disappears when you're inconvenient and reappears when you're useful was never love. It was a transaction waiting to happen. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Grandma, that's all well and good, but what do I do about it? So let me tell you what I did. That grandson, David, the one who took over my house. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't make a scene, the way they all expected. One evening, while he was out, I packed his things myself, folded every shirt, laid them in the suitcase he'd brought in that first week, and I set it by the front door with a note. The note said, I love you. That's why you have to go. This house is the last piece of peace I have left, and I am done giving it away. He was angry, of course, called me every name a grateful man knows. But he left, and when the anger faded, you know what happened? He started calling. Not for money, not for a place, just to hear my voice. Sometimes the quietest move is the loudest thing you'll ever do. Sometimes letting go is the closest thing to love you can offer. So there they are. The five. The one with the crisis. The one who never sees you. The one whose kindness has a hook. The one who took your peace. And the one who forgot you until they needed you. Here's my wish for you. And I mean it from the bottom of my old heart. Look around your table this week. Look at the people who fill your days. And ask yourself one honest question. Are they filling my cup or draining it? Because you are still allowed to choose yourself. You are still allowed to close the door, gently, and protect the quiet joys that keep you alive. And remember this, always. The quiet women of this world are not weak. We are just choosing our words and our battles carefully. Oh, you were never the one who was too much. You were just in a room with too little. God bless you and go easy on your own heart tonight.